into the night. The city lights are dancing, slowly falling apart. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling stronger, and I know I can do better. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the lights on.
Thank you guys for hanging around. We just saw an absolute blowout match from the amateur franchise, from the amateur tier, the 50/50 Pizzeria franchise, putting together another solid AMI team in the Garlic Knots. Walked away the 4-0 sweep against the Electric Eels from the Tyrants of the Sea. But enough about that. We're here now with Prospect, our first Prospect stream of season 26, match day 2, the Blacktips from Shark Attack versus the Okapis from the Jungle. We got 40 of you all in the chat. It's great to see you all. It's great doing this for you all every night. Love to have you guys here. As always, I'm Bulletnote. I'm joined by Sauce Boss in the booth and Taco in the background producing. Sauce Boss, man, what did you think of that last series?
It was definitely interesting seeing how Garlic Knots yet again, surprise, surprise, put on a banger of a team and look like they could go all the way as they still have not lost a game yet in either the preseason or the regular season.
Yeah, going to be really interesting to see how they do. A little bit of a different story here tonight with the Prospect team, though. The Blacktips are, I believe, I just had it pulled up. The Blacktips are 1-3 on the series. They're going to be looking for some padding of their victories tonight, but they're going up against the Okapis, who are a solid 2-2 right now. Both teams familiar with taking a couple L's. They're looking to not take any tonight. Who do you think is going to walk away with it here?
I don't know. It's always such a bit of a toss up, especially in the start of the season when you haven't gotten too much data on either of these teams. But Shark Attack always ends up putting on some really good teams, no matter the tier. And I mean, really, same thing could be said about Jungle, especially with their premier squad as they went back to back the last 2 seasons. But especially down here in the lowers, I think Shark Attack generally have a little bit more of an edge. But honestly, I could see it going a 3-1 or even a 2-2. But just for the sake of picking a victor, we're going to go with Shark Attack in a 3-1.
Yeah, well, in typical fashion, I think I have to take the other end of it too. That Shark Attack team's no joke, though. You got Zur for the captain, Zach the Bull with 2 trophies next to his name, Brian Rowan coming in as well, and then JKE, who I think we're going to call Jake tonight, but I might just stick with JKE. But don't discount the Jungle. You got some real great players on that team too. Nova's been around forever. Sleepy Crimson coming in with a crown of his own. Drippin' Ice, I know, is a great player as well. And then Chris, I actually play in a doubles league with him, and he's great as well. So solid players on both sides of the ball. I'm hoping we have a little bit more of a toss up here in this series. Going to make it exciting for everybody watching. But if you're taking Shark Attack, I'll punch around and I'll pick the Jungle and we'll see what happens here. But I think we're done yapping here. I think we got 38 people that want to see this Prospect matchup get going. So if you're good, I'm good, and I'm going to tell the guys that they are good to go as well.
Yeah, I'm good to go here as well. I'm excited, especially going up 2 tiers from that amateur matchup. I'm curious to see what the Prospect do and seeing how big of a pace change these guys put up going from game to game and how exciting it will be. Looks like Zur, JKE, and Brian Round will start here for, I believe, the Blacktips, and then the Okapis will have Sleepy Crimson, Drip and Ice, also known as a pimp named Drip, and Chris.
Yeah, no, already aggressive action from the Shark Attack team as they try to put that on net. It gets pinched out, and for anybody that stuck around last time, the colors actually make sense this time around. Shark Attack in blue, and the jungle Okapis in orange. So Chris looking for a shot here. Leaves it for Crimson. Crimson's going to try and put it on net. Gets a demo off of it too. Leaves that ball though at midfield. Here's Jake coming across trying to make a pass for his teammates. Chris already back to knock it away. The play, knowing that Prospect is 2 tiers above Amateur, the play is already looking much more aggressive, a lot faster too as these touches come flying in as they're trying to get some offensive action going here.
Yeah, touches are really confident. They're hitting it with the right parts of their car, and they're putting on some really strong touches and really making every touch threatening as they want to put it on net. And they're also a lot more accurate too, so you can expect that ball to be coming towards your goal. But also you got to really worry about these return touches, the bangs out. If it turns into a ping pong match, it could get really dangerous for either team if someone's not confident enough to go up for it. But so far, we've just been seeing a ping pong match going back from side to side. Hardy, good strong shot. Brian Brown is going to get his first one here for the goal, for the game.
Yeah, if they couldn't get it done on the goal line, they're going to get it done away from the goal line. Brian, from all the way at midfield, throws that across, takes the corner shot, and gets it just under the crossbar.
Yeah, big strong touch there from Brian. Good start for him as well. And this one's going to be right off the start. Not sure what happened there on the kickoff from the Okapis, but Blacktips are already up 2-0 here early in game number 1.
Yeah, it looks like just a miscue on that kickoff, though. They're going to go into game or kickoff number 3 now, up 2-0. Drip and Ice and Brian taking that kickoff. Sleepy Crimson looking to get around, tries to get around one, almost gets it around Zur, but Zur's there to knock it back down. Brian getting the demo, but gets the ball clear. There's the shot on. Jake with no boost is able to knock it down. Chris, though, coming back in to keep the pressure, keeps it up. Now it's an open net that Drippin's going to have to try and catch here as he throws it back to the corner. Zur looking for a touch, leaves it up for his teammate. His teammates are just a little bit too far back. That might just float in, but Sleepy Crimson says otherwise and gets 50 points for it. That's going to bounce up across the side again, and another shot goes across all 3 defenders on the wrong side of the net here to clear that away. They luckily get it away. Chris here to bang it out as well. Rotationally, it does sort of look like Shark Attack in this first half of the game seems to be a little bit better equipped here, but look at Chris getting up here and getting that save, knocking it around the corner again. But look, right back again off the crossbar. Zur and Brian aren't able to get it quite done here, but the offensive pressure coming out of the Sharks is looking really strong right now, and as we've seen in all of our matches, the team that's a little bit more aggressively seems to be able to take away the win when they go up against each other on stream here.
Yeah, a little bit more aggressive, but we are seeing a little bit of an offensive possession out of the Okapis come out right here, and Zur has to take a long play here to get that one out. Brian gets dunked on 0 boost, but Sleepy Crimson touch isn't going to go really where he wanted to, and it's going to get a little bit awkward here in the corner. Blacktips are taking advantage, finally get a possession back, but also awkward for them, and it's going straight back the other way. A potential pass out here for Drip and Ice off the backboard. Chris is going to follow through, doesn't get it around one, but now it's a breakaway. Zur's got a chance at a one-on-one here. Doesn't get it on target, and Brian's just not going to have enough speed or accuracy there to get to the ball there. JKE has a light touch. This one's going back off the backboard. Follow-up missed by JKE. Zur's got to be a little bit careful here. He's the last one back. But great rotations, and they're filling in quite nicely yet again. JKE just putting it where they can.
Look at the mechanics on JKE here. He goes up, he almost gets a touch, and he fakes it around one. Drip and Ice just a little bit too far in the net, a little bit awkward, and that ball just floats in. But you know that was going for a really strong 50 if JKE got another touch on it.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better start right here. Another kickoff mishap out of the Okapis, and that is killing them right now. Otherwise, the score would still be 2-0. And they'd still be in this game, but now it's starting to get out of hand here with a minute and a half left to go.
Yeah, 4-0, a hard deficit to come back from, but we haven't really seen the Okapis kind of get going here. We're going to see maybe it's just game one jitters, maybe it's just getting shaken off here. It's a late night here on Wednesday night Rocket League as Brian goes up here, tries to make a touch. Jake's going to throw it back to the center again for his teammates, but Chris is there to knock it down. Chris returns to sender, sends it back to Jake, but Jake throws it midfield, and now Crimson's going to get an opportunity for a solo play. Here he comes, coming up, tries to get the flip hit, doesn't make it work. It gets bounced out, and Drippin has to try and keep that pressure on. Chris again helping as well. That's going across the net. Is anybody there? Brian thankfully able to get 50 points and knock it down again. 1 minute left here, down 4. Chances of walking away with the victory are starting to look pretty slim unless they can get some kickoff goals of their own. A demo comes out. Sleepy Crimson now last back has to play the backboard read. There's Chris to back it off the backboard again. A missed touch that's going to go up 5 now. Brian getting a touch as well. Talk about Brian and Jake, man. 3 on 5 and 2 on 4, both with over 50% shot percentages.
Already a hat trick. They're reading these backboard touches really nicely as well. They just got to put it up there, and the Okapis just can't read it. Getting a little bit too bunched up there in the net, but overall, so far, a dominant game one for the Blacktips. Definitely the right way to go after that, after game one when they won, or after match day one when they went 1-3. So it's nice to get a good bounce back for them. And Zur already up. He's looking for number 6 for the team, and he's just barely going to slide it in.
Yeah, that demo on that setup there by Brian. Brian sending Chris to the spawn screen so that he could watch this from the bleachers as a Zur just throws that in.
Yeah, but having a little bit of a repeat here from last match that we just casted. Blacktips this time going 6-0 in game one. Very, very few chances for the Okapis so far to get anything on the board. That was the first one I think I've seen outside of maybe one early on in the match, but just some missed touches so far just are really hurting the Okapis from trying to get where they need to be. As a 6-0, and Blacktips are feeling really comfortable in the series.
Yeah, a really strong game one performance from the Blacktips as they go up 6-0. Like you said, Okapis got to get some synergy going. A lot of big single touches that didn't quite work out for them. We're going to see what they do here coming into game two. It's still well within reach to turn this around, but Blacktips sort of standing on business here going up 6-0.
Yeah, standing on business, and really Brian and JKE just, and even Zur as well, putting on, I mean, everybody's contributing to these plays. They're putting on points. Everybody is doing something, and it's really a big boost to their rotations. Got to highlight that, especially as that's the whole reason they're able to dominate this way. They're just in the right positions at the right times and filling in that space. Just couldn't really ask for a better start for the Blacktips, and we'll see how the Okapis respond, as we're not going to see anybody swapping out players here in game one. We'll see if they do it after 2, but I believe we just got a lobby change request right at the last second.
We did. So we are going to remake the lobby here. And we'll get that going. They look like they requested it again. So we will be back shortly. What a great performance from the Blacktips, starting out strong. Zur getting a touch of his own to get a goal here at the end. But really, Brian and JKE showing up strong here, getting that early roll going with 5 goals between them.
Yeah, USC's. They didn't say anything.
Awesome. Well, that was nice and quick. We're going to get back into it here, folks. Shark Attack going up against the Jungle, the Blacktips versus the Okapis. Game 2 on a new, fresh server. You can get that new server smell going. And we're going to have to see what they're able to do as the teams file back into the match here.
Yeah, I think the Okapis just need to be a little bit more loose in the rotations. They need to widen out just a little bit. I think they were getting bunched up there in the net a little bit too much, and they were getting standstill. And when they got standstill, it was just over from there. All you have to do is put it on the backboard, put it left or right to a teammate, and it's just going to be an easy tap in for that extra player that comes in, reads it off the backboard, and they're just they don't have the momentum to meet the ball where they need to. Starting off here, Zur trying to look for an opportunity, trying to get it over the middle. Not quite able to, and this one's going to bounce back out to JKE, filling in that space as we talked about time and time again. And now Zur's going to have to make the save back just where he needs to be. Sleepy Crimson looking for a good pass. This one's out to Chris, but can he get it on target? This one goes off the backboard. Brian getting this one out. And what could have been a dangerous play there goes just great for the Blacktips. And now it's almost going back the other way. A little bit of control from Chris. Flick doesn't go anywhere. Brian's putting this one back on the backboard, trying to read it. Gets blocked. Zerv trying to put this one on target. Not able to either. But this one's getting pinched all the way back. JKE's got to get to this one. And this one's going to fall all the way in. Drippin' Ice is going to get the first lead here for the Okapis.
Yeah, and apologies to the stream guys. We're getting it back on. That's going to bounce into the corner. JKE barely able to make a save there. Taco, if you don't mind, we got to get the game on.
Yeah, a little bit of issues here. Should have it back now, but Brian already looking for a goal right here. This one's going to be tapped in the top right corner, and they're going to be tied.
It looks like we've got all the issues resolved now. Audio, everything going. All right, guys. Again, apologies for that. We're 1-1. It's like nothing ever happened. Shark Tips come back, strike fast. 1 minute down. 1-1 on the series so far in game one. Sleepy Crimson looking for a shot off a backboard pass or a corner pass from Chris. Chris not quite able to get that over across for his teammate. Chris comes in, throws it wide again. JKE now looking to carry it across the net, try and get something going here off the wall. Gets met by Chris with a beautiful pinch to the corner. Zur has to play back and play defense on it. Drippin' Ice coming in, trying to keep that pressure on. Right off the gate here, we've seen, apologies to the chat, you guys didn't see the goal from Okapis, but Okapis coming up strong with some offensive pressure early on in the game so far.
Yeah, they put on some excellent pressure here at the start, and they're forcing the Blacktips to be on their half of the field a little bit more often than they did in that last game. Chances have been few and far between so far. Few misses coming out of the Blacktips, but JKE getting a nice little fake. That one just almost slots itself in. Zur can't put it on target, and Brian's going to try and corral this one off of Drippin' Ice. But he's got a little bit of boost, can't get back to it, but Sleepy's also on 0 boost, and they've got a little bit of time to carry this one over, just lacking in the accuracy department right now, trying to do what they can right now, but Brian's last with JKE, and the offensive pressure is building. That pop does not go where they want it to, and Blacktips are going to take possession yet again.
What a shot, though, from Brian as he was able to get up and knock that down. It was saved away by the Okapis, so it didn't pay dividends on it, but bringing back some of that offensive flash that we were seeing in game one. Ball's bouncing out to the corner now. JKE is going to be looking to go up against Crimson, try and get it around him, gets it batted down. Brian's there to throw it back in. It gets on target, but Chris is there to block it. Zur coming back in, keeping the rotation going as they keep that offensive pressure. Counterattack now coming out from Chris as he tries to get that pressure going midfield. He leaves it for Drippin', gets a bump on one, leaves it back, gets a bump on two, gets almost to the third one, but the third one makes the save. JKE able to knock it away, gets back in an open net opportunity now, just a little bit too late, not able to capitalize it. The Okapis have to leave that one back on that side of the field as the ball comes across towards their net.
That was a dangerous opportunity. That thing was hanging right in front of the net. Zur just with the last bit of speed that he had getting back to that one, but now the Okapis have had a lot of pressure this game, plenty more than the Blacktips have had, but it's so far been the solo plays, but JKE is going to take back the lead.
JKE with an awesome little solo play here, burns his boost to get back to the ball after that bump, but is able to get the pop-up that he needs to get it past the last defender and throw it into the corner, giving them the lead 2-1. Blacktips going up now, trying to maintain that lead after the Okapis have kind of struck back pretty hard.
I believe the Shark Attack fans in the chat are saying it's pronounced Jake, so makes it a little bit easier than pronouncing out each letter. But a nice play out of the Sleepy Crimson here for the Okapis. Goes Bardowski, and they're going to tie this one back up. Not ready to sit down yet.
Yeah, they're all tied up with just under a minute 30 left. Sleepy Crimson burning the last of his boost to get back to that ball, make the touch, get the angle, and get the 100 points. 2-2, 1 minute 23. Okapis not going down without a fight, seeing a lot more close action here than we saw in that amateur matchup that we just watched.
What we saw right there, great pass over the middle, but Drippin' Ice using what he's got in the tank to bang that one all the way back downfield. Getting a little bit clumped together. Jake's gonna bang back downfield himself. Brian's just not able to reach it. Chris not able to get a touch on it either. Zur goes high. Jake not able to follow up. Brian looking for the shot, no double tap. And now Sleepy Crimson's gonna try and corral this one, but not ready to give it up yet, as it's starting to turn back into a ping pong match, going back the other way. No double from Jake. Filling back out into the field. Zur's got a little bit of a break and full boost pad. Doesn't get the boost steal, but doesn't matter. Jake's gonna try and put this one off target, or on target, just a little too far. Chris with enough speed. Brian not able to get that one on target and a little bit too slow with the shot. They're hunting here. They are in a pack, ready for the shot. Jake is gonna take back the lead.
Holy team play. Look at this. A demo off the rip, then a bump on the spawn. A touch by Jake puts him in just the right position to land and get the pop-up. Throw Chris for a loop. A little bit of a tippy tap back and forth between Brian and Jake. Puts that up for them, and they get to go up 3-2.
Yeah, back up 3-2. Great heads-up play there by Jake. Just ready for it to come back to him, not leaving the play too early. And now they just have to hold on for 10 more seconds. But that's going to be a little difficult when Sleepy Crimson's already up in the air. We'll see if anyone's able to follow through, but Jake able to clear that one. Not dead yet. We're going to see a follow through by Chris, but not able to reach it. And now the Blacktips have reached game point with 2 wins and only needing 1 more to take the series.
Oh no, I just lost connection to Rocket League servers. Shout out Epic, shout out Psyonix. Almost a brilliant last play there by Chris. I thought that ball had hit the ground just a little bit too early for the Blacktips. I thought that Okapis might have had a chance to get one last shot on it. They weren't able to. The ball bounced down. 2-0 on the series now with the Blacktips, but I'm not discounting the Okapis out yet. They are looking pretty strong to come back. They shrunk that lead drastically from the first game to the second game, and up until, like you said, the last 10 seconds, it was looking like it was going to overtime.
Yeah, it looked like it was about to go to overtime. Blacktips just stayed calm. They waited for it to open up, and then they finally got that pass play, finally found each other, and just worked out great for them. Hopefully those connection issues for Sleepy Crimson, it looked like his ping was going off. We'll have to see if he rejoins the match here or if they're subbing out.
Well, we'll see.
Look like he's
I don't know if anybody else is getting a black screen, but I'm getting a black screen. So win for the casters. I might be needing a sub myself. I don't know what's going on. But while we wait for that lobby to get back up again, yeah, Okapis looking to fight back. Blacktips looking pretty composed. I wanted to talk about their offensive rotations. In that game too, especially, there was a period of time, about 30 seconds, about maybe 2 minutes left on the clock, where they were just hammering that net and they could not get it into the net thanks to the defensive efforts from the Okapis. But every player on the team was getting in that rotation, getting a shot. They had the entire lobby crunched up on that Okapi goal line, and they didn't walk away with a victory for it, but they came right back after the counterattack, marched down the field, and they scored again. Blacktips looking really composed, and typically of what I've seen from that Shark Attack franchise, they always play a very aggressive, offense-heavy rotation and lineup. So true to form here, Blacktips are making good use of it, and they're pulling away victories from it.
Yeah, great analysis right there. But we're going to get back here for game number 3, and it does look like Sleepy Crimson is going to get subbed out here for Novarchite, as we'll see how that changes up things. Maybe the lag was a little bit too much there to truly handle, but starting off strong, Brian already wants one going in net. JKE is trying to pinch this one out, keeping it on their side. Great read by Brian. This one's going to go to the backboard. Chris has to read this one quick right before Zur gets there. Saved away at the last second. Not enough speed. That one goes off the crossbar. Brian trying to fill that one in. Going back the other way. Looks Looks like Okapis are going to take a little bit of offensive pressure. Brian on 0 boost, see what he can do with it. But Jake's underneath, ready to fill in. Does get it around 1, still 2 ahead of him. And nobody's ready to collect it in the middle as Chris tries to clear this one out, but not successful, as this one's staying in the offensive half here for the Blacktips, and Okapis are looking rather awkward here on defense.
Yeah, the entire team pushing that ball out together, a team effort there. They don't get punished for it. That ball's going to bounce mid again. Blacktips looking a little bit too quick on the ball. They're not quite getting the touches that they need. A 50 keeps that ball on the Okapis side of the field as Brian comes in looking for a shot, but Chris is there to knock it back down again. And talk about Chris, man, support-wise, defense-wise, he's been on lock here these last couple games. Despite the record showing what it shows, he's been kind of just like in that back line holding things down. He's made it very difficult for the Blacktips to score, and they've definitely earned the victories from doing so. But looking to see Chris maybe get some offensive action here as he takes the ball. He's going to grab that middle boost, come down, charge the corner here, make that ball go towards his teammate. Now his teammate's going to get an opportunity to. Gets bumped off the ball, but it's chasing back, burning boost for it. Almost gets the 50 that he needs. They don't respond, but they do respond. Sorry, Zur came out of nowhere like a flash, got that right down the middle of the net, got it over that last defender who was just a little bit too low on boost.
Yeah, and that's really what the power of the rotations do. Novarchite didn't have anything. The only one with any boost was Drip and Ice, but not really anything to work off of right there. He was waiting for his teammate to go, and the Blacktips just had so much speed, they're able to fill in that space much faster than the Okapis can, and we saw what the result of that was, a goal. And in any moment that could be just a critical play that either team could need with those rotations. Really, it's such an underrated skill to have in Rocket League that really any team can benefit from it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Chris now looking to try and get a play going. That's going to bounce across the net. Can Nova get there in time? No, he can't. That's going to go in. Zur from midfield, from the side wall, throws it up off a pinch out from the Okapis that doesn't quite go the way they need to. And Nova's just a little bit too slow on the uptake to go ahead and get that save.
Just a bang out shot by Zur. He's going to get his second on the game. He's going to be looking for a hat trick. I believe we saw one out of him earlier, or out of Brian. Actually, we saw one out of Brian earlier, getting his first goals here for Zur in this match. Brian nearly gets one around. Jake's got a little bit of control, but Zur just a little bit too quick, keeping this one on their offensive half. Novarchite doesn't have any boost, does get around him though, and Brian's going to try and collect this one in the corner. I mean, really, we've been talking about the rotations, but the boost control from Blacktips as well has been fantastic. I don't think I've really been seeing hardly anyone on their team out of boost, and I guess that goes also for the Okapis. They're just not able to take control of the boost. Was that a musty flick out of Brian right there?
Yeah, I think it was. He didn't quite get the angle that he wanted on it, but look at him dinking the musty flick and then immediately going in, playing hard offense, getting that demo off the Okapi team. Throwing it down here is Chris, though, looking to try and disrupt him. Brian can't quite get up because he's got Chris in the way, but he goes and grabs another demo, picks it up for his teammate, and thankfully Chris is there, just sort of stood in the way, knocked that ball down, leaving Nova to go ahead and take it. You were talking about boost and rotational control and boost management, and you're 100% right. Right now, the Blacktips hold that thought, though. Nova disrupting the action here off a beautiful corner pass from Drip and Ice. He got it past one defender. All the boost in the world didn't help them out there. Nova burning his to get it across the net and get in. They shrunk this lead down to 1. They got plenty of time left to come back and try and grab it. It's 1-2 now with the Okapis. It's just down 1.
Yeah, only down 1. They're not ready to give up, and I mean, both these last 2 games have been extremely close, but Zur looking for a solo play, looking for the double tap. Drip and Ice just able to keep that one out. Brian looking for a shot, not able to get it on target, but now 0 boost for all 3 members of the Okapis. Not able to do a single thing with it, just trying to fake them out. Playing on 0 boost is a strategy in itself. Novarchite able to fill up some boost, not able to keep it out, and Drip and Ice has to defend this one on 0. Chris, full boost. This one's getting banged on target, off the backboard, saved away by Jake at the last second. And things are definitely heating up here for the Okapis.
Yeah, definitely. They got 30 seconds left here. They got to make a play. A shot on target gets knocked away by Zur here. 19 seconds. I think the full last minute of gameplay has had the ball in the Blacktips half of the field as Nova looks to put it right back again. Picking up boosts is Chris now sitting with 76 in the corner on the sideline. He's waiting for this opportunity to come back and strike. Ball bounces away. Nova's got to come and bang this back in. They might get one last chance here. They might not get it. It's a little bit too fast. 0 seconds. Ball's in the air. They pop it up. They're going for glory, trying to get one more. They don't quite get it. Blacktips are going to walk away with this victory here. Zur, Brian, and Jake taking care of business here in game 3.
The Blacktips trying to make things interesting. They're in it for the love of the game, just trying to keep it up. They want to play more Rocket League, and they're going to play more Rocket League indeed because they still have one more game to go to get the full sweep for the night. Now they already got 3 wins, but having that 4th win is going to set them up nicely in the standings. And for the Okapis, they really need to get one here just to try and keep themselves. It isn't early in the season, but they're doing what they can. And it looks like the Blacktips are going to sub one player out. Not sure who they're going to be subbing out, but it looks like 2 players just left, so we still won't find out right now.
They're keeping us on our toes here. It's going to be Zach the Bull coming in for whoever leaves the match. It looks like Zur might be staying out. Brian's come back in here. Definitely a good choice here to get your 4th man some rotations here when you're up 3-1, looking like they can come and try and take the glory, get the sweep. I know Zach the Bull. I know he's a great player offensively. Look out for him to have some fun with the ball when he gets it. But we're going to go into game 4 here, guys. It's the Blacktips versus the Okapis. The Blacktips currently up 3 in the series, looking to get that sweep. The Brooms are out. We're going to see if they can put it away here. The Okapis looking to fight them off as we go into game 4.
Yeah, looking to fight them off. Do we have everybody in the lobby?
We're missing
Oh,
Brian, who just
there he
joined.
is.
So we should be good to go. Game 4 coming underway here. Just a moment as they get in the match.
Just need a
And
little
we
bit of
are rocking
encouragement.
and rolling. Yeah, they just need a little nudge in the right direction here. All right, folks, last game of the night, game 4 in this prospect match, Okapis versus the Blacktips. Blacktips up 3, already taking a strong start. Brian getting sent back to the spawn screen. Chris holding no punches here as he tries to get some offensive relief, get off the Blacktips here as that goes to the corner. Zach the Bull taking a 50 to keep that midfield. He's going to leave it for his teammate Brian with boost, has to play a 50, but Chris is there to knock it down again.
Knocking it down again, but already back into the offense here. Zach the Bull wants one for himself here in the last game. Dripping Ice does get it around 1. Jake's got to save it on 0 boost. Chris just not fast enough to get it around him. Novarchite also up at the same time. Zach's going to keep this one out, and he's going to have a bit of a solo play here. Chris just reading it a little bit better. Got a little bit of space. Brian not able to keep it away. Back in on the defense, and the Blacktips. Oh, this one's going back into the middle. This one could be dangerous. Brian not able to get to it. 2 players from the Blacktips, and there's a little bit of panic here on the defensive half for Blacktips.
Yeah, Blacktips looking to make that counter tap. They get a bump, and it just barely misses. It hits the crossbar. His own teammate tries to knock it back in, and Zach the Bull gets sent to the spawn screen. Nova making sure he doesn't get an opportunity to make that shot. Drippin throws it up to Chris, though. A brilliant touch, just barely goes wide, but they keep the pressure on. That ball's going to float high to the corner with neither of the Blacktips in a good spot to try and get a defensive touch on it. That ball bounces out again. They're going to let that roll to the corner here. Jake looking for a pass down, throws it down to Zach. Zach's going up, gets met on the 50. That 50 might not be enough. It's not. Zach the Bull powers through and gets the touch that he needs to get 100 points off a brilliant pass play by Jake.
Yeah, great. Not the best shot in the world, but you don't ever need the best shot in the world to win a game, and he's got his team in the lead right here. Just making do with what he's got in the situation, makes it go in. Has to work off the opponent a little bit, but that's all you need. Already having the lead, they're going to have to work to keep this one, as the Okapis have had quite a bit of offensive pressure, especially off the panic that built a little bit earlier in this match in the first opening minute. But slow play here from Blacktips. Dripping Ice trying to keep it in. Chris not able to read it quite yet. He does manage to pick up a full boost pad, but that one's going to slide right in. But Dripping Ice able to keep it out just at the last second. Brian has to read this one off the backboard. Chris going to fill in, trying to get this one off the backboard, looking for a read from his teammate Novarchite, trying to fill in. Gets blocked away at the last second. This one's on target. Zach the Bull saving it away at the last second. Chris isn't going to be able to follow through. Neither is Novarchite. He's going to get demoed. And it's going to slow down here in the Okapi corner.
Yeah, we're just under the halfway point in this game. Offensive pressure right back from the Okapis. The counterattacks have been a lot faster here in Game 4. Okapis fighting hard to get that one victory under their belt here. Drippin looking to charge in here, tries to get it past Jake. Jake reads the touch and throws the 50 to the corner. Chris going up now, trying to make a touch, gets it over 1, trying to get it over 2, pounces it down on top of Brian's hood. Brian's a little bit awkward, but he manages to get it off a bump from his teammate, throws it mid again. Nobody's there except for Chris now, and Jake just barely misses. Jake now has to rush back and try and play defense, gets that midfield defense to keep the ball in the Okapi's half of the field. Nova going up here with a brilliant midair 50. Zach the Bull has to come and play it again. He's going to be looking for a pass here to the center. A bump doesn't materialize for Brian. He's able to get knocked down again. Nova able to clear it out. Ball's bouncing mid again. Here's Zach the Bull looking for a touch. He gets it off the sidebar. Doesn't quite get the touch he needs, but a shot from Jake throws it back in, and then a shot from Brian throws it back in. And talk about offensive pressure like we've been talking about all night. The Blacktips relentless in their scoring opportunity as they try and put that ball in the net off a couple great defensive plays from the Okapis, but it just wasn't enough for them.
Yeah, it was a great save to get it out of the net initially, but just still wasn't far enough to the side to keep it out for sure. Zach the Bull going to look for a second one, but it's going to go off the backboard. Cleared away by Chris, and with a minute and a half remaining, the Okapis need a lot of work to do if they want to get back in this. They still need 2 goals to tie it up, and really in the standings you want to try and keep yourself above half, but the Blacktips have been really dominant so far no matter who they've had playing.
Yeah, no, their lineup's definitely paying dividends right now. Jake getting another 100 points and another goal with just a minute left in the game. A minute left for the Okapis to try and get some kind of response going. And it's really unfortunate for the Okapis. They've had a lot of great offensive moments, and they just haven't made that last 5% to get that ball across the net.
Too many good opportunities, Novarchite. Unfortunate that Sleepy Crimson did have to go out after that fantastic solo play he had earlier. But Drippin' Ice managing to get this one out in the open space. Chris just doesn't have enough boost to keep it. This one is going to hang over the backboard. Jake's not able to get hang of it, but nobody from the Okapis are able to corral this one, and they're not ready in for these passes. It just seems like they're missing one little element from each play, but that one's going to slide right in. Chris trying to keep this one alive with the last 30 seconds. It's still not over yet. The Blacktips still need to work for 30 more seconds to keep it out of their net.
Yeah, 30 seconds on the clock. Chris getting a brilliant touch with a little bit of an unorthodox angle on his car, but he's able to make it work. Chris now going to be looking for a solo play as here he comes, but his teammates also looking to try and fake out. They get the fake out, they get the goal. Nobody was expecting that. Drippin' Ice probably calmed that from all the way backfield. Chris throws it up, steps out of the way, gets Zach drawn out of position, and there's Drippin', and all of a sudden this is a lot closer game than we were thinking here. 20 seconds left, they're only down 1. They got the momentum. Let's see if the Okapis can swing back and get this tied up.
Well, I think about half a chat right now wants to see overtime. The only people that don't want to see are Shark Attack people, but that was the opportunity they needed. And the bump comes out, but with 10 seconds left to go, who is going to panic here on the back line? Is it going to be the Blacktips or is it the Okapis? Because now this one, there's second left. It doesn't matter. It's not even going to reach the Blacktips half, and the Blacktips are going to secure themselves a full sweep.
Yeah, 2 sweeps in one night. What a crazy turn of events here. The Okapis heartbreak off a couple one-loss close games here. You know they're going to be going back to the replay room on that one. Really a lot of just couple minor things that could have kept them in this game that just didn't materialize for them. But shout out to the Blacktips for keeping that offensive pressure and keeping things going here in this 4-game series and walking away with 4 victories because of it.
Yep, walking away with it right here. Blacktips definitely put on a rotational performance. Didn't do anything crazy. They just stuck with the rotations, filled in space, and it was an absolutely dominant win. But we have to pick ourselves a uh, an MVP here.
Of course, of course, of course, we do have to pick ourselves an MVP. Before I do that, I do just want to shout out the Okapis showing up on stream, putting in the work. Drippin' Ice, Chris, Nova, and Crimson all showing up, trying to play their damnedest to make that work. Shout out Chris for his defensive stands, like we talked about earlier. But MVP of the night, my MVP, it's got to go to Jake. Just sort of streamlined the offense for the Black Tips, got those scoring opportunities, had a couple great solo plays. My vote's going to Jake here.
I was definitely leaning in between him and Brian. Brian definitely had a really strong opening game to the series, but kind of quieted down just a tad. But Jake, I don't think he ever slowed down at all. I always kept up the pace the whole time. I'm also going to give it to Jake here for MVP tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Shout out to the rest of the team as well for putting out that excellent performance, walking away with a 4-0. That's going to help them in the standings a lot. Going up here 5-3 on the series on the season so far here. I don't see anybody in the waiting room. Don't know if we have an interview lined up or not, but it does look like we've got the MVP himself from the producer's notes. We got Jake coming into our live stream here, going to get lined out for an interview. We're just waiting for him to come in.
He is not going to be ready to get dragged in a millisecond. Oh, there he is.
All right, folks, standing here with us, we got Jake. Jake from the Black Tips putting on a dominant performance here with, like we were saying, some brilliant solo plays here. Jake, how are you doing? How's your team feeling? Congratulations on the sweep.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think spirits are definitely high. We had a big turnaround from Monday to today. Met with our coach and we fixed a lot of stuff. But I think today we just played as a team and yeah, what a dominant win.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. We were talking about it early in pregame. You guys were looking to get some performances going, get a good, solid couple of wins under your belt. I don't think anybody was expecting a 4-0. So you guys mentioned you had some coaching going on earlier. So obviously it's paying dividends. What kind of things were you guys talking about?
Kind of just fixing our rotation. We had some issues with just being antsy back in our defense. Um, just kind of a lot of pressure type things, like trying to stay calm and collected. And I think we improved like a ton on that half. So if we keep playing like this, I don't know if I feel like we're a complete team right now.
Yeah, you guys definitely look like a complete team. That first game, your guys' rotations were so dominant. Like, you guys didn't even give the other team a chance to get into your half. They definitely responded, but what really kept you guys locking back in when things got a little nerve-wracking, especially with the last 30 seconds there of game 4 when they were threatening to come back there?
Yeah, I think it was more of a we felt like it was just unlucky on our half. So once we kind of just got past that and we realized, oh, we've been playing like really good up until then, we kind of just, figured just keep playing how we're playing, lock in, and yeah, kind of fixed it.
Yeah, no, despite the scores getting close, I don't think your team really looked too shaky at all through all of that. You guys seem to have a good lineup with whoever you've got. But yeah, dude, congratulations again. It's late. We're going to let everybody go. But before we go, you got any shout outs?
Uh, the team, I guess, Zach, Brian, Zer, couldn't have done it without him.
Awesome, man. Happy to hear it. Well, congratulations again. You're walking away with
Thank
a
you very
sweep. You're
much.
improving to 5-3 on the season so far. Going to be looking to shoot up and join the top fifth half of the bracket in the standings. And I'll say that we're not looking forward to playing you guys. We'll have to see what happens when Venom Lab goes up against Shark Attack. But congratulations again. Hope you guys get to enjoy the rest of your night. And we're going to let you go. But congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, have a good night.
Yeah, you
Thanks,
too
you
as
too.
well. All right, folks, that is going to do it for Wednesday night. Apologies for the little blip in server issues and production issues. Do just want to shout out the slots for next week. Sunday, 5:17, match days 3 and 4 at 9 o'clock and 9:45. Both of those are open. Go ahead and get your teams signed up. We'll be casting those and having a great time. And then Monday, 5:18, match day 3, 10:50. We got a veteran lineup, the Cannoli versus the Blackjacks. That's going to be fun as well. And then the remaining 3 slots, one on Monday night at 11:30, Wednesday at 10:50, and Wednesday at 11:30 are all open as well. So do go ahead and get signed up. We want to put you guys on the big screen, show you guys off. Hopefully your team walks away with a sweep, and hopefully they don't get on the other end of a sweep. So sign up if you guys want. We're going to let you guys go. We hope you have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week, cruising towards the weekend. Thanks for being here with us, and have a great one.
Thank you.